We'll call to order the regular city council meeting for Tuesday, March 11th, 2025. Don't see no Pastor Steve. Bob James, would you lead us in prayer?
Dear Lord, we just come to you tonight and we have no expectations, Lord. We ask that you give us peace, you give us clarity, and you give us intelligence and common unity, Lord. And Lord, we just ask that you watch over us tonight and help us to make the best decisions we can make for the city of Geneseo. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. If we could all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Jessica, roll call.
Craig Arnold.
Here.
Hollis Murphy. Here.
Here.
Bob James. James Roothouse. I feel like I messed up somehow already. Perfect. Brett Barnhart.
Yes, here.
Kit Swanson.
Here.
Keith
I
Kennedy.
don't know.
Here.
And Martin Rothschild.
Okay, we have a quorum. Next, Zach, Chamber of Commerce report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and good evening to the City Council. Here's your Geneseo Chamber of Commerce report for March of 2025. Our membership drive continues. It goes through the end of March, so we are getting, most businesses are rejoining. We've had a few who have opted not to rejoin, or perhaps they've gone out of business or something else, or retirement, what have you. So we do have some new members. I'd like to welcome Thai Town Cafe to downtown Geneseo. What a wonderful addition to downtown Geneseo. We will be doing a ribbon cutting with them soon. They're still kind of getting used to the routine. They've been very busy, and busy is good in Geneseo. So happy to have everyone at Thai Town Cafe here in Geneseo. Candle Witch Company is a new retail store that will be opening over on South Center Street, right across from the post office. So you know where the mailboxes are on Center Street? It's going to be right there in that building, in the same building that the Sunset Cafe is in, Sunrise Cafe, excuse me. And they have homemade candles, soy candles, all sorts of wonderful scents and aromas. So we look forward to them opening very soon. And then we'd like to welcome back Republic Services. They took a year off and they are now back with the Geneseo Chamber. I think they're transitioning to LRS. Is that correct? I think something to that effect. But Republic Services, happy to have them back. Past event recaps. We did the Cupid's Cashback promotion to help drum up some support for local businesses in the wintertime. What it is people go into participating locations, and they enter to win Geneseo Chamber gift certificates that can be redeemed at over 100 Geneseo stores and restaurants. So we had a great response to that, and we had about $500 to give out to the participants. So everyone has their gift certificates now, and they're shopping and dining in Geneseo. Some upcoming events. We have the 2025 Geneseo Art Walk coming up on Saturday, April 26th in downtown Geneseo from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's a celebration of the local arts, so stay tuned for more updates about that. The spring citywide garage sales will be taking place May 1st through 3rd. That's a very popular initiative in the community, so we've announced that in partnership with the Geneseo Current. And then the 2025 Geneseo Music Festival, it's Father's Day weekend, June 13th through 15th. I will see you there. Upcoming promotional efforts I wanted to bring to the attention of the City Council is that the Geneseo Chamber is currently working on some marketing efforts to promote Geneseo in our region. We're partnering with WQAD to run a new digital advertising campaign, which will feature new commercials that we're having made. And that campaign will run April 1st through May 31st for 2 months in the spring. We are also partnering with KWQC for a Hello Geneseo campaign, which is a week-long campaign in which KWQC every night will feature a different aspect of the Geneseo community, whether it's something like the museum. We're going to be interviewing people affiliated with the community. Mayor Johnson, you're likely going to be someone we're asking for an interview for the news. And then it's going to end on Friday, where they actually do a live broadcast of the 5 or 6 o'clock news from Geneseo. So we're really looking forward to that kind of exposure. And then we also have the Quad City Times and Lee Enterprises we're partnering with for the 2025 Geneseo Tourism Magazine. We have 5,000 copies that are made, and we distribute them throughout the 9 tourism information centers throughout the state, again, to drive tourism and visitors to Geneseo. We'll also be updating the billboard just off of Interstate 80, if you're familiar. When you are westbound on 80, before you're about to turn off on exit 19, we're going to be updating that billboard, clearing back any vegetation that's grown over it, just sprucing it up. So that way we can kind of pull some visitors off of I-80 there. We do not own, well, we partner with the property owner to do this. So let's talk about this high-speed passenger rail real quick. This has been a hot topic in the area, and it was recently announced that state of Illinois and Quad Cities officials are considering alternative routes to complete the project, removing Geneseo as a stop along the route. The new alternative route would bring the rail from Chicago to Wyanett. It would then go down to Galesburg and then checkmark back up to Moline through Kelowna or Barstow on the BNSF railroads. The Geneseo Chamber opposes any alternative routes, as Geneseo's been in the mix as a stop along this proposed route for over 15 years. We put a lot of time and work and conversation and money into this. We support the original proposed route via the Iowa Interstate Railroad, running through Wyanett, Anawan, Geneseo, and then to Moline. Also, the alternative route would add an extra hour to the commute from the Quad Cities to Chicago. Nobody's asking for that. Obviously, there's more of an economic impact if it comes through Geneseo. And we would urge, both the Iowa Interstate Railroad and the Illinois Department of Transportation to come together to solve this impasse that's been going on for 17 years. I believe that it didn't take this long for the I-74 bridge, the new one, to get built in the Quad Cities. So why is this taking so long? I'm not exaggerating. So we would like to see this happen. An alternative route would not only upend years of strategic planning in Geneseo, but would deny Geneseo of a fantastic economic opportunity and increase tourism potential in hosting a train stop along the route. Basically, this proposed alternative route is going to cost Geneseo millions of dollars in potential revenue that we could be seeing come to the community. It's a big deal. So I have a couple advocacy trips coming up in which I will definitely be talking about this issue. I will be going to Springfield next Wednesday, March 19th, as part of the Chamber Day put on by the Illinois Chamber and the Illinois Association of Chamber of Commerce Executives. And I will be meeting with our local legislators there to kind of discuss this and a few other things that are happening in Geneseo. Also, I'll be traveling to Washington, D.C. with the Quad Cities Chamber as a part of the business delegation to advocate for business interest in the Quad City area. Specifically, I'll be advocating for Geneseo and, of course, this high-speed rail project to come right through Geneseo. That will be April 8th through 11th. So I don't think I'll be here with you guys next month, but I will be in Washington, D.C. Doing what I need to help Geneseo. And if any of the members of the city council have anything you'd like me to take with me to DC, any advocacy or any talking points, I'm happy to meet with you and to discuss and how we can fit this on the one pager we plan on distributing when we're in the nation's capital. One more thing is we have mural number 6. I know that that's an item here on the agenda. Again, we're commissioning a donor recognition mural for the Geneseo Mural Project at Richmond Hill Park at shelter number 4, pending city council approval. We plan on having the mural installed by Labor Day. I will be here for any questions when you discuss that, but obviously I would urge a yes vote for that. So that does it for the, one more thing. I've got this feedback and we're building this feedback from the Geneseo business community about how they feel about how things are going in Geneseo, the Geneseo economy. And right now we've had 8 responses, but we've only had this out for a week and we're going to have this out for another week to get more feedback from the business community. But I'm happy to report that on the scale of 1 to 5, with 1 being the worst and 5 being the best, Geneseo is ranking at a 4 about how our business community feels about the current economic health of Geneseo. And we're at a 5 for the optimism of the future of Geneseo's economy. So we have a very optimistic business community. We're almost there. They seem, right now the feedback we're getting is that things are going good. But again, we can't fall asleep at the wheel. We can't get complacent with this. We're going to keep working hard at the Geneseo Chamber. And I would encourage the city council to do the same. I know you will. And that's all I have for you guys today. But good things are happening, but our work's never done.
Thanks, Zach. Any questions from the council? Comments?
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yep. Okay, moving on. Item number 5 on the agenda would be public comments related to agenda items. City ordinance allows members of the public to speak and give input up to 3 minutes. During public comment, there can be no debate or action by the city council at the time. Nobody in the lobby, Gene? Ann, anything? No? Okay. Moving on, mayor's comments. I have none at this time. City council comments. Any members of the council? Okay, Brandon, city administrator comments.
Yep, just want to announce that the North State Street project will be resuming on March 17th. That's next Monday. Chad will touch on more of what's going on with the project in the capital project report coming up. But that's firing right back up here this spring with the weather change. Next, I'd like to introduce and bring up our new state senator, Lee Ariano Jr., who would like to introduce himself and spend a few minutes with the council.
Thank you, and hello, everybody. Thank you for the space here, by the way. I appreciate it. My name is Lee Ariano Jr. I'm from Dixon. I was mayor there for 8 years. I'm also still in the Army Engineers, so I'm a little biased for infrastructure and growth of that nature. I'm a fan. It is my honor, as of the beginning of this year, to serve as your state senator for Geneseo in the 37th District. One of the things I've been making a very conscientious effort to do is to get out and put my face in front of the areas that I'm not familiar with. So I know Whiteside County, Ogle County, Lee County, Northern Bureau. I know some of those areas very well. And I don't want them to have an unfair advantage. I don't want them to be able to text or call their senator or have a personal relationship, and folks from Geneseo or Peoria or Princeton not have that. So part of my big kick at the beginning of this year, I've been to the Henry County Board already. I've been speaking to some of the area county boards. Of course, I'm also slightly biased towards municipal government, having come out of it. But speaking to the towns and villages and even some of the townships and just getting out there. So today I visited the library, had a meeting with them, visited the Park District here in Geneseo. Of course, spent some time with the chamber a little bit before this. And just to let you know that I am fully aware you are going to know each of your wards and cities far better than I ever will. And it is my responsibility to represent those down in Springfield. So I want to make sure all of you are extremely comfortable getting a hold of me, getting a hold of my staff, emails, texts, whatever you think is the best way to do it. I've left my cell phone. I got a couple more, so I think we got 7 council members. For everybody. So please get a hold of me. I am serving a 4-year term, so if I can't get something done for you this year, I can keep raising a little cane down there and fighting for the causes, whether that's rail stops or whatever the case may be. But my goal and my passion is representing our rural regions. I am a fan of Chicago. I am not a Chicago hater, but when it comes to negotiations down in Springfield, they seem to get at least their fair share, as I would say, them in the suburbs. And I want to make sure some of our needs are met. And I ran into those struggles when I was a mayor. I saw them firsthand. But I also saw some legislators that could get stuff done from either party if they knew and cared about their regions. And so, again, that's why I'm here. I want to make sure you folks are comfortable knowing me, talking to me, and letting me know when there's times I need to be aware of what's happening in Geneseo, be out here and be present, and then go down to Springfield and represent you. That's what I'm intending to do. So please feel free to get a hold of me, to get a hold of my staff, to let me know when there's things happening in Geneseo that I should try to make my way out to. I'm very much looking forward to serving all of you. On a closing note, I'll let you know I do have 5 kids, so I'm aware of inflation and family channels. Baby number 5 just turned 5 months old. So that was new after the campaign. So you might have heard me talk about my 4 kids. It is now 5 kids. And so that part is passionate for me as well, is making sure families and young families have a voice in the Senate. I'll be doing a little bit of that too. So that's all I really have. I don't want to monopolize your time. I will be back in town as often as I can be. But please, by all means, when there's events, causes, things happening, I know the chamber will be in touch and make sure I know of them. And I'm trying to make sure it flows into my Facebook feed and all that stuff so I can keep a track on of it. But feel free to reach out personally and let me know. That part is important to me too, is building the personal relationships that I need to be able to do my job properly. So thank you very much for the opportunity to talk, Mayor and Council. And I look forward to working with you.
Anything else, Brian? Okay, moving on. Item number 9 on the agenda would be the finance director comments, 9.1, treasurer's report and capital assets report as submitted.
First one is the budget book. Again, we're just in the beginning of the year, so there's only 2 months worth of items on, or worth of things in here. But things are trending right. We have had our bond payments come out, so you'll see those expenses on there. And then any transfers that were gonna be done, those were done also. Questions on the budget book?
Why is sales tax highlighted?
When I printed the report, I was clicked on it.
Oh. I just didn't know if that's like a lot, something.
No.
Why is the resolving loan have a negative 1,874%?
That is because it gets transferred over to the savings account. So there's 2 accounts when we have it at the bank. Throughout the year, they deposit it into our account at the bank, like the city's account, but we have a revolving loan account. And so all of that money had to be transferred out of there into that for the end of the fiscal year, and that's why it shows that way. Any other questions? All right. Sorry, the links aren't working. We have a lot of accounts. All right, next is the treasurer's report. Again, all the transfers are made, so the general fund, it looks like we have a lot more expenses than revenues, and that's because of the transfers into the police fund and street, cemetery, and parks. I have not gotten any auditor transactions yet, but once I get those in, it might move some monies around, but as far as the balances are, they're gonna pretty much stay close to the same.
When do we expect that?
They will come on site the first week of April. Questions on the treasurer's report? All right, next is capital assets. There's only a couple things that have come through. Red Zone, that's our final payment for Red Zone. That came through, and then the pole trailer for electric, that was on last month's packet, or last time's packet. And then a couple of bills for the SCADA update. We have the flat cameras that were purchased, and then the PD furniture. Any questions for the capital assets report?
No, I don't have a whole lot. As far as capital projects for electric, we're kind of waiting for weather to break on some of this stuff, especially the Richmond Hill project, North State Street project, and that kind of stuff. So we're kind of waiting. We did, the pole trailer has been completed. That's been extended out 5 feet. We did send a purchase order for the mini skid trencher off. That should be arriving here in the next month. And a lot of POs sent out for relays and stuff like that. We're just kind of waiting, but everything's been planned and ready to go. It's just waiting for things to line up. Yeah. Any questions?
So the public works stuff, the water tower, the North Water Tower will be on discussion item later. Olivia Drive water main extension. Since I wrote that, the EPA paperwork was submitted 2 weeks ago. We already did have a review comment on it that we'd already sent back. The next project would be on the dock, would be well 33. So as of when I wrote this, they had made the modifications. It was Albrecht shop. The pit list is on site at well 33. They are going to start installing it on Wednesday when there are Julie tickets available for them to dig. We also have sent all of our information back for the well, the pump, the motor, and the VFD control panel. And they will be ordering all that stuff at the beginning, or probably tomorrow or Thursday for this week. We are still waiting on the two fittings from Ferguson Waterworks, and they're anticipated to be here around the week of the 7th. And all the permits have been signed and submitted for the EPA for the well construction permit. And then that is still a 90-day review process. So hopefully, with only waiting 2 weeks to get Olivia Drive comments back, maybe it won't take very long to get the well. The other thing that we had touched on, wastewater proposal. Donahue is working on preliminary paperwork. I'll bring the official contract back for the March Cal meeting. And then North State Street, like Brandon had stated, they're going to start on 317. We have cut down the right-of-way trees that need to come down for this next phase. That is completed. And when they start on the 17th, they're going to start with sanitary sewer. Then they're going to do the water main, then the storm sewer, then the concrete drive lanes or the road and sidewalks and stuff. They did have anticipated on their work timeline. They weren't going to do the stamped in from like the first phase of this project. They didn't complete the seating, the trees, the sidewalk, and then the stamped concrete between Park and East Palace Row. We did talk with them, and they did agree upon hopefully around May 1st. When all the soil conditions settle down, they'll get back in and get the trees planted. And if we're in the window of temperature range, they will try to get it seeded and so forth. That should be it for all I have right now. And we're like Eric, we're trying to wait for weather to break and frost to be completely out of the ground and so forth. So we did buy the budgeted pickup for water department utility truck. I received the bid documents for Eric and I for our other two pickups we have on for placing an order. We'll review those and make a decision. And then we are starting demoing next week mini excavators for the water department. So we can get that purchase order and have that before construction season starts, so we're not renting equipment. So, any questions?
Chad, when they when we go to replace trees, what kind of tree are we going to replace with?
We do a variety of them, a variety of native trees and so forth.
Are we going to try to get something where the roots run a little bit deeper and not so close to the sidewalk?
So we put best suitable trees in that 5-6 foot. Some of the rooting characteristics will be shallow, some are deep. They're only 1.5 to 2 inch trees.
Okay.
So hopefully they don't affect, much of. Where we place them will be specifically not located where there's utilities for a water line or a sewer line, so it shouldn't really come into conflict.
Okay, thanks.
I was just going to mention too, if you scroll back up, Jamie, we missed the Chicago Street where Lauren will be here on 325 where we'll discuss our plan for Chicago Street pedestrian sidewalk and best design options for that too.
Yep.
So.
Thanks, Jeff.
Yep.
The squad car, we got word, will be set for production April 7th. And that just means they're going to put it in and start making it. It's still going to be a long time after it gets made and then sent over to the outfitter. So there's still no solid date on when that will be here. Flock has completed their requirement with IDOT. So the locations are set. So now we're just kind of on their waiting list of when those will be able to be put in. The new office furniture that I was talking about last time, it did arrive a lot sooner than we expected. So that is all set and put together and still waiting on a couple shelving units to arrive. Other than that, that will be done hopefully here by next 2 weeks. Since I wrote this, the range, the only update I can give you is we're working with Travis Mackey and another group that is looking at a pre-apprenticeship type carpentry. So we're trying to, and Dirk's been working on it with me. We're trying to figure out somewhere in where we can make that work, where they'll complete that range build for us and also learn the skills they need for the future. I added the duty firearms because that was carryover from last year, and those optics have been ordered. They were ordered for probably 9 to 11 months. They're on back order and they just got here. So we plan on having those installed and everybody qualified and practice with them by May 20th. And that'll be the end of the duty firearm purchase. Other than that, I got nothing else. Does anybody have any questions?
Cameras to get like any general data for just like numbers, like how many people are coming in from Geneseo, just how many people are going through on Route 6.
We could. So that's not what really they're designed to do. It's to alert you to, somebody driving with a stolen car, somebody wanted on a warrant.
I just wonder if we can use them in the city.
Yeah.
In terms of just overall traffic, not like identifying just.
Yeah.
Just general numbers, like curious how many people go by on Route 6.
Gotcha. We also have another digital speed sign that we utilize that, and we do traffic studies with that one, so we can put that somewhere and tell you how many people are going north and south on whatever road you are, east and west.
The IDOT has a traffic count on the website. Every year they do it.
Cool.
Thanks, Chief.
Thank you.
Yeah, and then administration, Richmond Hill Stage, we'll talk about tonight, but we hope to have council select a contractor for the overhead structure for the Richmond Hill Park Stage, and then we can move forward to pouring the foundation and some concrete once we get the engineered plans for that selected design. More to come on that.
Motion to approve the treasurer's report and the capital asset reports as submitted.
Motion by Arnold, second by Roothouse. Roll call.
Arnold,
Yes.
Tomasky. Yes. James.
Yes.
Roothouse.
Yes.
Bennett,
Yes.
Swanson,
Yes.
Barnhart.
Yes.
Okay. Item carries. Item number 10 on the agenda would be the consent agenda.
Motion to approve using the omnibus method to approve items from 1 through 10.
I have to read it. Sorry.
He's volunteering.
Super fun though. Go ahead.
All right, 10.1, approval of previous minutes, regular council, February 11th, 2025 minutes, committee of the whole, February 25th, 2025 minutes, R 25-03 net metering annual related cost credit, and R 2504 reappointment of Eric Henderson to the police pension board, and O 25-04 adoption of the 2025 zoning map. Now motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Roothouse, second by Arnold.
Barnhart,
Yes.
Swanson,
Yes.
Bennett,
Yes.
Roothouse.
Yes.
James,
Yes.
Tomasky,
Yes.
Arnold.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Well done. I like the way we handled that. No. Item number 12 under administration, 12.1 would be the contract for a mural at Richmond Hill Park.
So this is the mural that we discussed in the committee of the whole meeting. Really have no changes or updates on this. This is would be approving an agreement between the city and the Geneseo Chamber of Commerce to place this artistic mural on Shelter 4. The city and the chamber would take joint ownership after its completion. It is a representation of city speech approving this concept. And that's all I have.
Is that a concern that it's a representation of city speech?
I have no concerns over it, no. Okay. That's what you're asking.
I just, when you said it's a representation of city speech, I know sometimes cities can get in trouble because we put that sign up and then someone else says, well, I want something similar. Why'd you allow them, but you won't let me do this?
Yeah, it's why, in working with Ansel Glenk,
Perfect.
why we're taking joint ownership of the mural when it goes up there.
Perfect.
Because ultimately, what you're seeing, the council is accepting that it is a proper representation and something that we want to represent as a city. Yep.
Motion to approve the artistic mural contract between the city and the Geneseo Chamber of Commerce.
Motion by Arnold,
I'll second.
second by Barnhart. Roll call.
Barnhart,
Yes.
Swanson,
Yes.
Bennett,
Yes.
Roothouse.
Yes.
James,
Yes.
Tomasky. Yes. Arnold.
No.
Okay, motion carries. 12.2 under administration would be the proposals proposal selection for the Richmond Hill Park stage and design and construction.
Okay, so at the committee meeting, we received 3 proposals this is the overhead timber structure of the proposed Richmond Hill Park stage structure. We had 3 proposals, one from Construction Group, one from Grenier, and one from Signature Big Timbers. Hopefully everybody on council had a chance to review all the proposals. We did go through an exercise with staff. So the 6 staff members on the leadership team that have provided input into this project, I asked all of them to score objectively as possible based on the criteria that we said we were going to score this project when we received proposals back. And that was 1, adherence to the conditions established in the specs of the RFP document, 2, the proposed cost, and 3, the candidate's qualifications, experience, and capacity to complete the project. So we went through that exercise. That was in your packet for review along with the proposals. Signature Big Timbers did come out on top in that scoring. So that is from a staff recommendation standpoint, that's going to be where we're at. All 3 of the proposals are nice designs. I think they all are experienced contractors that could do a good job. With that said, Signature Big Timbers was the highest score from the staff look at this process.
And would that be the staff suggestion then to go with?
That based on our objective look and scoring and everything, that is going to be the staff's highest score and recommendation. It is also the most expensive. All 3 of the proposals came within $3,000 of each other, though, which was pretty surprising.
Motion to accept the proposal from contract name here, authorizing staff to enter into a contract for design of the services.
Could you,
Say the contract.
yeah, could you enter Signature
Big
Big
Timbers.
Timbers?
Signature Big Timber.
Thank you, Greg.
You're welcome.
I'll second that.
So we have a motion by Arnold and a second by Kennett. Roll call.
Arnold,
Yes.
Samosky. Yes. James,
Yes.
Roothouse.
Yes.
Kennett,
Yes.
Swanson,
Yes.
Barnhart.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Item 12.3 would be the North Water Tower project.
Yeah, so I think the plan is to, if the mayor would like to table this one. So we, you may remember in the committee meeting, we moved forward a measure to work with Putnam County Painting and to work with them on a contract that we could bring back. Putnam County is not willing to work with us on a performance bond in this contract, and is no longer interested in being involved in this project with Geneseo. Performance bond is something that we need to require in this agreement, and that's not going to work out. So we're going to have to take this to bid. We're going to have to work with IMEG and come back with other options is the plan.
So what's a performance bond?
It ensures the performance once they start the job. If they weren't to finish, that we could go back on the bond for completion of the work and recoup those funds that we would lose.
They won't agree to, it's a statute.
No, I think he's just asking
The
if we
agenda
need an
item.
actual table of the agenda item or just,
We have to make a motion to table. That's the safest thing.
okay.
Keith, is this normal? You're the expert.
Again, the bidding process, I defer to Dirk. He understands the bond, what have you, but yeah, there's different opinion, on the bond requirement.
Yeah.
Contractor is interested in working with having the bond.
But I have yet to see a single legal opinion of any kind that says we can ignore a statute. And he says that there are municipalities or counties in Illinois ignoring the statute. Well, that's fine. You can ignore the statute and ignore my advice, but the statute applies. And I don't know where this guy gets off saying he can ignore statutes and do public work, because I'm sort of in a trick box. I'm required to report it. So if that's really what he wants to do, I'm kind of ignoring it for the moment.
But the idea that you can just ignore the law, the surety bond is there for this reason. If I work on your house and you don't pay me, I can lien your house with mechanics. I can force the sale of your house till I get paid. The same for my subcontractors and material supply. You can't do that to the king's property. You cannot lien the public's property and force the sale. So the state of Illinois provides for all the material suppliers, subcontractors, and others, the requirement that a surety bond be in place. And they recognize it adds cost. It adds 3% to the cost of every project. That's why the state of Illinois says, unless the project's worth $150,000 or more, we don't have to do it. Well, this one's worth more than $150,000, and this guy's absolute refusal to follow the law is a real warning problem.
So
Second.
Motion to table, or motion to get rid of.
Mike's not on.
No, all right.
Oh,
Motion to
never mind.
table, the extended, the North Water Tower project. Motion by
Second.
Gonzalez, Second by Arnold. Roll call.
Arnold,
Yes.
Samosky. Yes. James,
yes.
Roothouse.
Yes.
Kenneth,
Abstain.
Swanson,
Yes.
Barnhart.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Item number 13 would be the payment of city and utility bills.
It's like it's still.
It's for our audit. It's for our audit.
Yeah, but you have it twice. It's like it's both twice. I don't know.
Total was 44.
Yeah, it's 40,000.
Yeah, so it was just broken out into water, sewer, electric, and
Okay, so the total bill is 44,
correct.
broken out to the.
Yes.
Which departments pay the bills? Yeah, you do. Oh, and you. Congratulations. Okay. Just one. Good. Yeah, I think that was.
Motion to approve the city bills as presented.
Motion by Arnold,
Second.
second by Swanson. Roll call.
Barnhart,
Yes.
Swanson,
Yes.
Kenneth,
Yes.
Roothouse.
Yes.
James,
Yes.
Samosky,
Yes.
Arnold.
Yes.
Okay, item carries. Item number 14 would be public comment related to all other items. City ordinance allows members of the public to speak and give input up to 3 minutes. During public comment, there can be no debate or action by the city council at this time. And nothing? Jane, nothing in the lobby? Okay, moving on to item number 15 would be adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Arnold. Second by Roothouse. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. We're adjourned.
Hold on, we gotta kill this.